the open road, the roar of a powerful engine, the wind whipping through your hair. After the turmoil of World War II, many veterans found solace in the freedom of motorcycle riding. They formed clubs, seeking the camaraderie they experienced in the trenches. These were men who lived life on their own terms, craving the adrenaline rush of speed and the brotherhood of their fellow riders. But society didn't always understand them. The 1947 Hollister riot, a relatively minor incident involving bikers in a small town, was blown out of proportion by the media. Suddenly, bikers were branded as rebels, troublemakers, outlaws. This image stuck, further fueled by the American Motorcyclist Association's alleged statement that 99% of motorcyclists were law-abiding citizens, implying the remaining 1% were outlaws. Thus began the era of outlaw motorcycle gangs. They embraced the 1%er label, proudly displaying it on their jackets, a badge of honor in their world. These were not just motorcycle enthusiasts, they were a brotherhood, a family bound by loyalty, respect, and a shared disdain for societal norms. They were a force to be reckoned with, riding their powerful machines like modern-day knights, their leather jackets and tattoos a testament to their rebellious spirit. For outsiders, the world of outlaw motorcycle gangs seems shrouded in mystery and danger. And they'd be right. These clubs operate on their own set of rules, a strict code of conduct that dictates everything from how they dress to how they handle their business. At the heart of it all is loyalty, to the club, to the brothers, and to the outlaw way of life. Their jackets, adorned with patches and insignia, are not just fashion statements. They're a visual language, telling a story of the wearer's club, rank, and history. Each patch holds significance, earned through acts of loyalty, courage, or infamy. The colors, often bold and intimidating, are fiercely protected, a source of pride and a symbol of the club's power. Within the club, hierarchy is strictly enforced. Prospects, new recruits eager to prove themselves, start at the bottom, performing menial tasks and earning the respect of their superiors. Full-fledged members, those who've earned their colors, enjoy the privileges and responsibilities that come with belonging to the brotherhood. They answer to their chapter president, a figure of authority who commands respect and obedience. Life in an outlaw motorcycle gang is not for the faint of heart. It demands unwavering loyalty, a willingness to follow orders without question, and often, a disregard for the law. But for those who embrace it, the brotherhood offers a sense of belonging, purpose, and camaraderie that's hard to find elsewhere. The term 1%er has become synonymous with outlaw motorcycle gangs. While they may engage in charitable activities and portray themselves as misunderstood rebels, the reality is far more complex. These clubs often operate on the fringes of legality, engaging in criminal enterprises to fund their lifestyles and maintain their power. Drug trafficking is a major source of income for many outlaw motorcycle gangs. They control vast networks of production and distribution, profiting from the sale of illegal substances. Weapons trafficking is another lucrative activity, supplying firearms to those who operate outside the law. Extortion, theft, and prostitution rings are also common ventures, with clubs using intimidation and violence to maintain their control over these illicit markets. Law enforcement agencies are well aware of the criminal activities of outlaw motorcycle gangs. They conduct undercover operations, infiltrate clubs, and make arrests in an attempt to disrupt their operations. However, the tight-knit nature of these organizations, their strict code of silence, and their willingness to use violence make them difficult to penetrate and prosecute. The allure of the outlaw lifestyle, the brotherhood, and the sense of power it brings continues to attract new recruits. But the reality is that this life comes at a cost. Jail time, violence, and even death are constant companions on the road they choose to ride. Few outlaw motorcycle gangs evoke the same level of notoriety and fear as the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. Founded in 1948 in Fontana, California, the Hells Angels quickly gained a reputation for their rebellious attitude and involvement in criminal activities. Their iconic death head logo, a winged skull, became a symbol of defiance and outlaw culture. The Hells Angels have chapters all over the world, with a particularly strong presence in the United States, Canada, and Europe. They are known for their strict membership requirements, with prospects undergoing a lengthy and often grueling initiation process. Loyalty to the club is paramount, and any betrayal is met with swift and brutal retribution. Over the years, the Hells Angels have been linked to a wide range of criminal activities including drug trafficking, murder, extortion, and money laundering. Their clashes with rival gangs, most notably the Bandidos, have resulted in numerous deaths and cemented their status as one of the most dangerous motorcycle gangs in the world. Despite their fearsome reputation, the Hells Angels maintain a public image of being a brotherhood of motorcycle enthusiasts. They organize charity events, participate in motorcycle rallies, and deny involvement in organized crime. However, law enforcement agencies consider them a serious criminal threat, and their activities continue to be closely monitored. In the Lone Star State of Texas, another outlaw motorcycle gang reigns supreme, the Bandidos Motorcycle Club. Founded in 1966 in Houston, the Bandidos quickly established themselves as a force to be reckoned with, their fat Mexican logo, depicting a caricature of a sombrero-wearing bandit, becoming a symbol of their power and influence. The Bandidos are known for their strict hierarchy and territoriality. They control vast stretches of the southwestern United States and have a significant presence in Europe and Australia. Their rivalry with the Hells Angels is legendary, resulting in violent clashes and bloodshed on both sides. Like many outlaw motorcycle gangs, the Bandidos are heavily involved in criminal enterprises. They have a long history of drug trafficking, particularly methamphetamine, and have been linked to murders, assaults, and intimidation tactics. In recent years, their activities have drawn the attention of federal authorities, who view them as a major organized crime threat. The Bandidos have also been linked to Mexican drug cartels, providing transportation and security for drug shipments. This dangerous alliance has further increased their power and influence, making them a major player in the international drug trade. Law enforcement agencies are working diligently to dismantle their operations, but their deep roots and ruthless tactics make them a formidable adversary. While the Hells Angels and Bandidos dominate the West and Southwest, the East Coast has its own share of powerful outlaw motorcycle gangs. The Outlaws Motorcycle Club, founded in 1935 in Illinois, predates both the Hells Angels and Bandidos and claims to be the original outlaw motorcycle club. Their logo, a skull and pistons on a black and white background, is a familiar sight on highways and in biker bars across the eastern United States. The Outlaws have a long-standing rivalry with the Hells Angels, and their clashes have resulted in numerous violent incidents. They are known for their strict membership policies, their involvement in criminal activities such as drug trafficking and extortion, and their fierce loyalty to their brotherhood. Another prominent East Coast gang is the Pagans Motorcycle Club, founded in 1959 in Maryland. The Pagans are known for their secrecy and their propensity for violence. Their logo, a Norse fire giant riding a motorcycle, reflects their fascination with Norse mythology and their embrace of outlaw culture. They are primarily active in the Mid-Atlantic region and have a reputation for guarding their territory fiercely. The Outlaws and Pagans, along with other smaller clubs, create a complex and often volatile landscape in the East Coast underworld. Their rivalries, criminal activities, and unwavering loyalty to their brotherhood make them a significant concern for law enforcement agencies. The world of outlaw motorcycle gangs is predominantly male, and the culture within these clubs is often deeply misogynistic. Women are often relegated to the role of property or old ladies, subservient to their male counterparts. They are expected to cook, clean, and provide companionship, often subjected to sexual exploitation and abuse. Some clubs have strict rules against women even touching club colors or being present at certain events. Those who do manage to gain a degree of acceptance within a club often do so by conforming to the hyper-masculine environment, engaging in criminal activities, and tolerating disrespect and abuse. Racial prejudice is also deeply ingrained in the culture of many outlaw motorcycle gangs. Some clubs, like the Hells Angels and Outlaws, have explicitly white supremacist views and restrict membership to white men only. Others, while not explicitly racist, often have a predominantly white membership and a culture that perpetuates racial stereotypes and discrimination. The Mongols Motorcycle Club, founded in California in 1969, stands out as a notable exception. Comprised primarily of Latino members, the Mongols have faced their own share of discrimination and prejudice from other clubs and law enforcement agencies. Their very existence challenges the white supremacist ideology that pervades much of the outlaw motorcycle gang world. The year is 2015, The place, a Twin Peaks restaurant in Waco, Texas. What began as a seemingly routine gathering of motorcycle clubs erupted into a scene of chaos and bloodshed, etching the Waco shootout into the annals of biker gang history. At the heart of the conflict was a long simmering feud between the Banditos, the dominant motorcycle club in Texas, and the Cossacks, a smaller club vying for territory and recognition. The Cossacks' decision to wear a Texas bottom rocker patch on their vests, a symbol of territorial claim, was seen as a direct challenge to the Banditos' authority. The shootout involved at least 5 different motorcycle clubs, with hundreds of bikers converging on the restaurant. Gunfire erupted, leaving 9 bikers dead and dozens injured. The sheer scale of the violence shocked the nation, exposing the deadly consequences of biker gang rivalries. The Waco shootout served as a stark reminder of the criminal underbelly of the outlaw motorcycle gang world. It led to a crackdown by law enforcement agencies, increased scrutiny of biker clubs, and a renewed debate about the role of guns and violence in American society. The world of outlaw motorcycle gangs is a complex and often contradictory one. On the one hand, these clubs offer their members a sense of brotherhood, camaraderie, and belonging that is hard to find elsewhere. They share a passion for motorcycles, a disdain for societal norms, and a willingness to live life on their own terms. They engage in charitable activities, raise money for worthy causes, and portray themselves as misunderstood rebels. On the other hand, these clubs are deeply involved in criminal activities, profiting from drug trafficking, extortion, and violence. They operate on the fringes of legality, often resorting to intimidation and bloodshed to maintain their power and protect their interests. Their strict codes of conduct, hierarchical structures, and unwavering loyalty can foster a culture of silence and complicity, shielding criminal activity from law enforcement. The allure of the outlaw lifestyle, the brotherhood, and the sense of freedom it represents continues to attract new recruits. But the reality is that this life comes at a cost. Jail time, violence, and even death are constant companions on the road they choose to ride. The duality of the open road, with its promise of adventure and its potential for danger, is never more apparent than in the world of outlaw motorcycle gangs.